Hello, how are you doing? Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here. The regular meeting and budget workshop of the Salle County Commissioners Court, December 5th, 2022. It's 1:20. We are at Commissioners Court Room here at the County Courthouse, 101 Courthouse Square. We have a full quorum. If you could rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Is there any public comment? There being none, proceed to discussion, possible action to approve reports. I think there's still more room on the deadline, because the 6th is the deadline, right? By Commissioners, 5th, or today? The 6th. So they're not due until tomorrow. The report? Yeah, by everybody. So we got the district clerk, tax assessor, JP 1, 2, 3, and 4. Election administrator, elderly nutrition. Agri-Life, Fire EMS, and Parks.
I'll make the motion to approve the report.
As presented?
As presented.
You don't want to look them? Motion's been made. Is there a second? Who made the second? You want a little bit of time to look them a little bit more, or you're okay just as presented, and then you look at them during the meeting?
Yeah,
No? Okay. Then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Now, number 5, discussion and or possible action to approve the minutes. Okay. Just the canvas? It was just the canvas.
Oh, okay. That's all we had.
So, yeah,
I'll make them.
is there a motion?
Yeah, I make the motion just to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next item is discussion and or possible action on purchase of Wilbur Tannery property for precinct number 1. And I know at the last meeting we had lease, so changed it to purchase. And I know Commissioner Nieves has been interested in that property.
How many acres is that, Judge?
Is it 4 acres?
4.008.
And there's two processes that can be done. One is public bid. 2 is hiring a real estate agent to represent us. And 3, through an attorney. Those are the ways to do it. This is one of the properties we looked at with Mr. Michael Shaughnessy. Went and got Derry Gardner to do the appraisals. And it's been a while. It's been a couple years. Now, I don't know how big the building is, but I believe it has lifts as well. I don't know if they're working.
4,000 square foot building, más o menos.
How many?
4,000.
4,000?
There is one lift. Don't know whether it works or not. Probably not. If it has, it's been years ago, so I don't know about the workings of that building.
What else you got there, Jim? I mean, does it have an office or?
It's got an office, 2 bathrooms, storage, there's 4 bays, 4 big doors that lift up and back, which you pull in. And the center part's been turned into, storage with shelves and stuff, but, most likely, if the county buys it, then we're gonna use it for it, probably looking at remodeling it,
Knock it down and build a new one.
But it's an I-beam building, it's got good steel in it, you take the sheet metal off of it, and go back to another building and add on to it or whatever.
The building looks good. I mean, I know the doors are kind of bent here and there,
Yeah.
but I mean, you can always order.
Cosmetically, but the I-beam and the structure inside is
Yeah.
still good. And it's all concrete slab on the inside, asphalt out front. Of course, then behind the high fence, back there, all that area in the back is all high fence, that's just all gravel, base and stuff back there.
It's got high fence all the way around in the back.
It's high fence all the way around.
How much? Do you take?
What, is there
Value.
is there an appraisal already, Judge, or no?
He has 2 appraisals, and I'm looking for the one we got. What's the appraisal district have it valued as?
The appraisal district has it valued at $508,520.
You're asking 200?
I'm asking what y'all are taxing us on. You're asking us to pay taxes on $508,520, so that's the asking price right now. I'm willing to negotiate from there. But that's what the appraisal district has it valued at.
You don't like your shop? You don't like your shop?
Está bien crowded, la máquina. El
Well,
shop sí lo quiero, pero we're real crowded in the other
Bank would
equipment.
obviously offer some very lucrative financing on it, if the county were to buy it from us, 0 down, 3% interest, whatever.
Interest? What do you think, Commissioner?
I mean, what's that, but Jack is out on his own over there. I don't know if he still plans to move yours, so everybody's kind of doing their own, so you're gonna end up in precinct 4 all by yourself, eventually. So,
But, almost gonna, I don't know.
so.
I mean, when you get your office out there, you can move your equipment out there, or you move all your equipment out there?
So everybody's kind of going on their own.
So you're still gonna be too close to me? No, I'm just kidding.
But like if Commissioner Ramirez gets out of there and I get out of there, you have a nice place already. I mean, I got good building there, whole. Unless you wanna buy that little piece.
Is there any way we could, table it for, before, till we know our budgets and all that?
I mean, if they finance it, then he can finance it out of his precinct, or you can get it started. Today's not gonna be the day we purchase it. We either get an attorney to work on it or an appraiser, so we can get like Jay Watson to hire him on behalf of the county. Kinda like, were you here when we sold Las Palmas?
Yeah.
Remember, at that time, we got Judy Northcutt to be our appraiser, so this works the reverse. So then they get started, she has to verify, he has to verify the appraisals. And I know, like I said, we got Derek Gardner to do, an appraisal on it a while back also. And, we'd have to find that one. But I would say hire, you know, a real estate agent, I mean,
That'd be a nice
it,
place.
it could be Judy Northcutt like we did, because the bank doesn't own the property.
The bank owns the property.
The bank owns the property
We
now.
had to foreclose on
Is
it.
that-
Okay, so now it'd have to be someone like Jay Watson.
Yeah, Jerry,
So it
Gardner,
belongs to the bank.
Jay's not living here.
Is Derry a real estate agent?
Eh?
It belongs to the.
Derry is?
Yeah, pero you got two,
Yeah, they will be.
Derry Gardner?
el banco.
Jay left,
Jay's living up in, Central Texas somewhere.
Hill Country, or Central Texas?
Yeah.
Jay still owns property here also, too, right? Oh, well, we can do Derry Gardner.
He buys from me.
And the purpose of that would be that Derry Gardner would negotiate a deal and come back before Commissioner's Court. And that's what he would do. So, I mean,
So he would pay it out of his budget, Judge, or what?
I mean, whatever you're doing for each other, if y'all gonna do your own precincts, I mean, you did your yard out of your office, but you got an office. You're gonna have an office, but you're gonna do the yard itself by itself. I mean, man, Raul, he's gonna end up there by himself, he's gonna need to do something too, so whatever you do here, you have to do for everybody.
So that's a nice place that we have right now, but like I say, I mean, it's, for all three of us, it's kind of small, I mean. We got a lot of equipment that's outside there, last time they sold the batteries from us.
I already have an office.
Sure.
If I stay by myself, I already have an office.
So if he does it out of his precinct, then it's his precinct funds. So finance it?
Get it appraised and then,
Yeah, well, he has appraisal, but the thing is that,
so all of that, Jim, belongs to the bank.
Sí,
It
se lo quitaron.
belongs to the bank.
Foreclose on it.
So we'll be buying it from the bank.
We got good credit with the bank.
We got credit.
no, we got good credit as is.
That's a good piece of property for offices or something else.
Later on, I think, Ms. Harrison, that little deal they got that right there, that little place, she's probably wanna get rid of that too, that little corner.
Look, it's not a bad property to buy, it's on the highway, it's Main Street, you know, it's good.
But to get out, in and out, it's gonna be traffic.
It's the same traffic that you hit coming out of,
What we got right now, we gotta go all the way around, so.
except for you, but you can come back through
Traffic light.
Market Street, I mean, Front Street.
We got a deputy every morning there, Commissioner. We got a deputy every morning there for the school.
They're gonna, the reason I'm saying this, because they're gonna widen that lane. Takes that.
Yeah,
For
but
the traffic coming out.
but even if they widen, they have to settle. Even if they widen, they gotta do condemnation or do a settlement, so it's not gonna be lost there. So, the thing is,
Do we have to take action or?
the thing is hiring
Appraisal.
a real estate agent to negotiate the purchase. To negotiate the purchase. And that's the thing, so Commissioner now is gonna spend it out of his money, get it, finance out of his money, it's the same thing. If you're gonna want him to buy, if you don't want him, then it's, you know, it's gonna work back and forth to each other.
Okay, Judge, but if I was to use it out of my money, then the ones that I already have on that other side, what are we gonna use those?
The what?
What I already have on my piece over there, on that side of the road, on the road, across the road, where I got my yard right now, our yard all together. So if I gotta buy all this for myself and all that, I'm just gonna give it away?
You can't have part of it.
I mean, The reality, all of it has been built with county money. It
Well, that's
doesn't
what I mean.
personally belong to
Everything's county
anybody.
money.
It doesn't personally belong to anybody.
Okay.
But if you finance it, you finance it out of general funds, general road and bridge funds, which are specific and differently required. I mean, the office part, I mean, you can do a small part of the general, but there's a difference in the funds, the way we break them out. So if you're gonna expand the road and bridge, it'd be out of road and bridge funds.
Do you need it right now?
The thing is, you get the appraisal started, he would like it, but it's gonna be the same thing. Unless you all plan to do some upgrades and you limit yourself to 500,000 on each of your budgets out of the deal. But you can, I mean, how much are you gonna spend on yours?
Nada.
So yours already done, but you have some upgrades to do. You got some upgrades to do, you're gonna have to build everything you do.
Barnes. Because he's got an office, big one.
So the thing is that building, it doesn't leak, does it?
I have no idea.
Need to look at it,
I
but
would check.
the good thing is that you got a building where you can put vehicles in to work out of the rain and everything else. And it may be beneficial for you all too, I mean,
Acá también, we got a pit and everything.
we got the pit,
I
but
just don't know why.
this type of rain, you
So you,
know,
you don't have one in, the one I got belongs to you and me, no?
Yeah, me and Chris built it.
but the rain, like recently rained, you got a carport, that rain, that mist gets everything wet. It goes everywhere. So it's simple, you're either for it or you're gonna be against it, it's,
No, I'm in for it, but not right now. I mean, I would like to wait till next year, but start that.
it's always been next year, next time, next budget cycle, I mean, make the decision now. You know, we saw that decision.
Are you gonna make an office later on, Mr. Ayala? You're gonna make an office later on, or no?
In the same building,
On the same building?
inside, yeah.
I mean, cause
So if I make a building, I'm gonna make my building behind yours.
You got,
I'm gonna make a building behind yours because I gotta go to your spot so I can go to mine.
you gotta be on your side.
How do I get there? I gotta go to the same gate.
Huh?
We gotta use the same gate.
No, you're leaving,
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. I mean, where am I gonna build mine?
what do you mean?
What would be the
If I was to build
payment,
an
what would be the
office.
payment for your version, or something like that?
you can do 100,000, 80,000, depending on how long you finance it for. But I can tell you that acre for the border patrol that we bought,
Why'd you pay for that?
huh?
300,000.
300,000, and the federal government made us pay the 300,000
For 1 acre?
for 1 acre. For 1 acre. Now, that land behind you, the land behind you, the school bought, sold for 50,000 an acre. 50,000, I don't know how many acres was there. So is it along the line? Yes.
I will tell you, while y'all are thinking about it, the comparables that my appraiser used to appraise that property was down here where the Love's truck stop's being built. Those sold for $139,000 per acre. Then they used the school, where the school bought this property. Okay, there was another one down there by the Love's where they sold it to, I guess, another subsidiary of Love's, and it sold for $98,446 per acre. And then Encinal Properties bought from L.M. Guerra. I don't know exactly what that one is, but it was sold for $100,000 an acre. And then the Floors Industries sold to 2ISD $82,385 an acre, right next door.
Si lo pagas, no te asustes. 100,000 por año, no empiezas a sentir.
Could we look at, the CAD appraisal, Mr. Gates?
Sir?
Could we look at the CAD appraisal?
You can say that, Sargento. So we can.
Let me see, I think I got it there. Okay, here's the rent, please. Curtis. And let's see. Okay, wait. Okay, this is a Tennery tract right here. Derek Gardner did 4.08 acres. And in our opinion, the value of the 4.008 acre Tennery tract from May 5th, 2021 is $95,000 per acre. And he conducted that he did underlying land for 340,000 an acre plus the building. Want me to send that to you, Mr. Gates?
What do you value the building at?
Huh?
How much do you value the building at?
380 and what do you do for the building? Photographs of the land, the building.
$1 million.
Now, this was 2 years ago, though.
See what? Forget it.
This was 2 years ago.
$2 million. ¿Qué quieren hacer?
No? And he only did the land, I think that's all we asked him for. Oh, the contributed value improvements is 40,000, that's what he put.
The building,
Yeah, so he came up at 380,000. This is done. This was done. August 2nd, 2021. So this is something that Mr. Shaughnessy made a presentation previously to the Commissioners Court. And I'll send it to you all again.
About how many years would it be financed, Mr. Jim?
Up to 15, I would go over 15.
easy payments.
Well, the main thing is,
Go ahead, Nikita.
one is Derek Gardner probably needs to update his appraisal. And the second thing is then there's a negotiation between them, then he comes back to Commissioner's Court and says, this is what you want. So the thing is, getting the process going, it's not purchasing right now, it's getting the process going.
But we don't need an action.
Other than hiring Derek Gardner to proceed with updating his appraisal and negotiating with Stockton's National Bank. And I'll get this sent to you all. I'll get this sent to you all too. So that'd be the action. That'd be the action.
We're not supposed to do action, no?
Huh?
Or we got to
Well, the action would be to hire Derek Gardner
Go 98.
to update his appraisal, to meet with the bank, to negotiate a deal, and come back, with different options that the Commissioners Court can accept. So they gotta come back and at that time make the decision to buy or not to buy. But, investment in land is a piggy bank. I mean, it really is, you don't lose an investment in land. We saw that with the rodeo property, and when we sold that property, it helped pay for the studies we needed to leverage, and we got funded by the courthouse. So it's very important. So what I like the motion is to hire Derek Gardner to reappraise Tenary property, to negotiate with the bank the purchase and payment price. And that'd be the motion that we need.
Okay. I'll make the motion.
And then there's a second.
He says he'd be willing, Judge,
I can,
he'd be willing to pay it. Depends how the money's are. I know everybody's kind of, thinking about the budget and everything, kind of figuring it out. He says he can pay it out of his budget, and it won't even hurt him. We saw the numbers there. We were paying in 5 years, it's 10, 15.
Do we get minerals on that?
It's even,
Whatever we have, you get.
Whatever you have? Okay.
it's even better if you pay it out of his budget.
if I get it 10 years,
You can get it 10 years, and
I can get it like in 10 years, it'll be
I
like,
mean, looking at the
50,000 a
payments
year.
roughly, I paid 50,000 a month more than Greg.
So is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? I'll send you the appraisals.
I'm gonna abstain.
You're gonna abstain? The motion's been made and second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? One abstain.
you gonna stay? Two?
I don't know what's the rush, but
It's been on for a while. Mr. Gates, what did you tell me about the property? What did you first instruct me about the property? About 6 months ago? 5 months ago? Something like that?
Yeah, we knew that they needed to sell it. We didn't foreclose on it until November 1st.
And Commissioner, it's a rush, but you voted for the appraisals in 2021, but we looked at that property itself. And we had a presentation in Commissioner's Court that was reported. So it's not like it's something that, we just came up with it. It's something that's been there for a while. Huh?
it's not a done deal yet anyway, but
It's not, but this is something,
Yeah.
you looked at.
yeah.
So the next item is to ratify the contract with the U.S. Marshal's Office. And one of the past meetings, we talked about that, the sheriff had the opportunity to get the deal to go ahead and execute it. He did, so we have to ratify it. And his rate is $85 a day? for the Ensenada Detention Center. I don't know if you have anything else to say, Sheriff? I don't know if you have anything else to say?
Just that contract was emailed back to them Friday, last Friday, so we did send it up to them, and he got it back to the grant specialist. So they're pending their signatures with their supervisors.
Because if he didn't sign it, then December, it may not be till January till he got a new rate. So it makes a lot of money difference for him to do so. So we would need a motion to ratify the U.S. Marshal contract negotiated by the sheriff for the amount of $85 a day for the Ensenada Detention Center. And that's what we would need in formal motion. Is there a second?
Make a second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The motion carries. Is there anybody from the food bank here? I mean, we can table it to talk to them, because we need to talk to them, because I know they want us to pay for the back food. We asked them to get turkeys, but then they didn't work with y'all. So some people got double turkeys and some people didn't get turkeys.
They did it their way, Judge.
Huh?
They did it their way, so I'll make the motion to table it.
Second.
For next year.
Do you want to table it till next year?
Yes, sir.
Well, you got Christmas coming up. Well, you want to amend your motion to table it till next year?
I'll amend my motion.
So we'll have a ham.
What?
Maybe they'll give us a ham.
No. I had told Adriana just to go and buy what she needed, but I don't know what happened.
What?
Adriana,
Adriana doesn't work with us anymore.
I know, but why did she go?
Huh? I think she was, well, she's not on the agenda. You
Oh,
talk
no,
about?
No, I just.
She's not on the
I wanna
agenda to
table
talk
it.
about?
I don't wanna discuss it. I just wanna.
So,
I
motion-
wanna table it for next year.
Motions and second to table till next year.
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna abstain, and I'll tell you why I'm gonna abstain. I'm gonna abstain because we still have to the end of the year, we're not done business, we've been elected for this year. I do know, and I have heard that you've been telling people that you wanna do it with Lolo's here. These are decisions here. These are decisions that are here. So if you can make these decisions today, then yes, you can vote that way. But you got Christmas coming up, so you're saying nothing's gonna happen to Christmas because you're gonna table it.
Well, we
So-
don't need the food bank for Christmas, do we? What do you?
The thing is that they're still billing us. They're still billing us. And to address it, you all have experienced what needs to be done.
So we haven't paid up front $100,000?
No, we pay it as it goes in bills, but see, they kind of stopped doing business with us in May, and they keep giving us bills for June, July, August, September, October, and they want us to pay those bills. So you're gonna push those back bills all the way till next year.
Well, let's make one more meeting.
Pending bills. We can write them and, they haven't answered that.
Because they're just trying to collect what they didn't bring.
Well, they're trying to collect what they brought that you all were not involved in. They haven't let you all get involved.
Just that last one time.
Before that one, they brought some stuff and they didn't let Commissioner Ramirez to help us. I mean, remember? So, I mean, that's been going on for a while already.
So what we gotta do, we just gotta let it ride to the end of the year and then change it or what? Because I talked to, Brenda was discussing with me, is that they didn't want these guys there, these three guys, I wasn't here.
No.
They didn't want
They
them
ran us
here.
off from our own building.
They didn't want you all there at all. Why did they want these three guys there at all? They just,
I mean, you give me.
what did they say? What did
I
they
mean,
tell you?
I don't mind y'all putting it off till next year, that's fine.
No, I'm just.
No, but you're gonna lose my experience, because I'm not gonna come back and explain it.
Well, don't-
Y'all are gonna figure it out on your own.
So what did they tell you?
Make another meeting and we'll.
Judge,
What did the-
Christmas-
what
we
did the food bank
were there,
do?
we got there, it's ahead of time and everything, me and Commissioner Ramirez and his guys and my guys. And then we thought, well, we gave some turkeys yesterday to some people, so all the people that are in line right there, so many people we already gave a turkey yesterday. Can we tell you which people we gave a turkey, that way we can have some extra turkeys, because some other people didn't get none? No, we're gonna run it our way, we're gonna give to whoever's in line here, so. Y'all need to get out of here.
Yeah, there was one individual that was used.
And Mr. Robledo, that's one of the things that we talked to us, and in a meeting, he said he was gonna work with you all, and he didn't.
And even Commissioner Ramirez called Mario and told him, and he said, well, they're put him to a side, and there's a little short guy right there. Nope, everything's going right now. The way we're doing it.
Yeah, and,
So-
and then people just, I mean, the poor don't get nothing, the only the ones that have a.
The thing is, you got Christmas coming in, and are y'all gonna do one more there's still money in the budget, are you gonna do something else, you know, for the poor people? There's money there, and if you put it off until next year, and you tie it off,
So the money right there, Josh, is already budgeted for this year.
yeah,
So that would
we have
be-
money, but we got quite a bit of money still budgeted.
So they would bring this last run for
For another round.
I mean, you can actually do one more run between you all, and just say, hey, food bank, we're not gonna pay you for it, we already paid you for the year, what you do is on your own. And then you all do on your own something bigger.
So if we get it this one more time.
You can do something
we still
bigger.
We still gotta pay them what we owe already?
Well, it's gonna be on you, but no, we didn't order it.
Okay.
They decided to go on their own.
You didn't order the, what, you didn't order them, you know.
We don't have to pay for that other one. That's fine, we can get this
I
one.
wouldn't
for this
pay
one.
it.
Did it?
Because we still get them on our own.
Huh?
We can get them on our
Get
own.
the hands of we got the turkey.
Well, you can get the hams and you can get some other stuff, some bacon, eggs, beans, anything that they appreciate, you know? You can still have, you know, a run to help them out. I know it's still hard for a lot of people.
So if they bring anything in December, we're gonna pay for it, or we're not gonna pay for it?
Yeah, you gotta pay for it.
For
We're
the
not gonna
food-
pay for it.
For the food
Let
bank.
them bring it.
Yeah, let them bring it.
Let them bring it,
If
and
you all
then if
order-
you wanna give hams, we'll give hams.
Like if
If you order-
you wanna
if you
give the
order-
hams, and if you wanna give something else, you know.
Or whatever
red
you,
beans
I'm not
for-
saying just for me,
It
but
does-
if they wanna give ham, we'll do that, and if you know,
It doesn't have to be ham, it can be bacon, eggs, it can be, you know, various, I mean,
Or we're gonna help
you can put a package together, I think most people would help on that,
But from the food bank.
from
No,
you all, from you all.
Oh, si not mejor, not from the food bank.
You know, and I understand the way these guys
We
feel.
don't need the
But if
food
you
bank.
put it off, you won't be able to do so.
We don't
No,
need
but
that.
just leave it, let them bring
So
whatever
we can
they're
get it
gonna
on, we can get it on our own without food bank, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah.
No, the food
We
bank's
don't
gonna bring their
we-
stuff,
we-
below
We
it.
don't need the food bank, because they just bring expired stuff.
No,
and-
no food bank there.
bring. No food bank.
We don't need food bank.
That's my opinion, we don't need it.
My goal is try to get something else, get more.
Like we had,
So-
I had said, Adriana, I mean, it was cheaper if she would get $3,000-4,000 a month of stuff that people need. And it was only
Well,
160
But
people.
Ariana sometimes would get a bill like 9,000 and she'd argue because she would send food back that was expired, that was no good.
Well, they
or
give
Rob-
us, they give
and-
you stuff that's gonna be expired tomorrow.
And-
ojalá
But the produce and stuff, some of it was not any good and she returned it.
don't work. Yeah.
But this is, she was working with Mary and the food bank to make sure they adjusted the bills because sometimes they wouldn't. So, then I would need a motion just to change, you know,
Okay, so Judge, if we go get it, when can we go get it, and where can we go get it, and who's gonna go get it?
You have to
We
look
can
it up.
do it the same,
I
like
mean,
they last time.
I can go, I can volunteer, I'll
We
go.
went last time, we can go.
Where do we go to, Sam's?
Those HEB.
well, you gotta work where you get the better price. You got time
Yeah,
right now.
those HEB.
But you also need to figure out a budget and meet with Mary. Okay, we're gonna give so much bacon. Do we wanna give eggs? Do we wanna give tomato sauce or beans, some other stuff too?
But we can get the same list that they had before for the same
Well,
people that were
you
there.
gotta- you gotta work the list, but you also have people that you've missed out on.
You see, those,
There's people missed out on.
the
How
people that
much
don't
is
have
there?
a car, they
About
gotta miss out.
But how much is
And you got a number of people that, like, right, they don't have a car.
You gotta go house by house, and it's a lot of work. House, I did it house by house to every.
Well, those people that are bedridden or home ridden, I mean, that have someone at home or they can't get out, I think you already know them from your experience. Your workers know them. So just get those lists, so we can add them, so we make sure we get them covered.
But it's hard, Judge, because a lot of
And
times,
with
you go out there,
150
they're not there.
And with
you knock and
150
they're not there,
turkeys, it's
and
hard.
then, and
It's
then they
hard.
complain that you didn't
And
think of
then they
anything.
call you, yeah, why do you leave it outside? Pues tú, pues tú. I mean, I can't go back.
I mean,
So I had to go and buy more turkeys from Puckett and give them, because the cat fit it in that blue bell. It's so hard.
So we would have our food bank, we would make it, people get in line, come there, whoever can't, we deliver it for this month. Or we figure something out.
Well, I mean,
That's good.
Just for the
That's
package
best.
together, Christmas package.
just put a Christmas box or something
Sí,
together.
pero let them get in line, whoever's gonna get in line, no?
No.
We're gonna deliver every box?
No, you gotta go by
deliver every
house by house.
I mean, you
Los
can,
viejitos, no los jóvenes. Los jóvenes can work. Los viejitos can't work.
See, no, I understand that, but what I'm saying, we're gonna make it like a regular food bank, cars get in line, and then we just deliver to the one. We're gonna take it to everybody?
You gotta go
Elderly,
house by
veterans.
house.
I mean,
Single parents.
you have a list of the people you've done, so you do it to those people and the ones that have missed out, that have complained to you.
No,
That's-
la gente take 2 trips, mami. I mean,
We can get the list,
Oh,
make it a food
my.
bank. I would,
It's
I
a
don't
lot
know,
of
we'll do
work.
it over there, let them, it's a lot easier for them just to come.
Well, look at the
And
pricing.
then the ones that need to be delivered, deliver those.
Look at the pricing, maybe it's better to just let them come in if they're on
Who?
the list of
Food
people.
bank?
Yeah, no,
Oh, the
for what
people.
we're gonna give away. Let's look at the pricing of the ham, let's look at the price of the things, because we got a budget of how much money we have, and then go from there.
Well, there's a list just that people that come in, let's say people we're gonna go deliver to, but we can get the list. Whoever came by, they go back to the list next day, you take to the people that didn't show up.
and then
I mean, it's
follow-
work, but
They follow you. Please, sir. They follow you. Please, don't man. Are you 60? No, I'm 30. But I got 5 kids. Dale uno. You gotta give them.
But that way you do a box, you know, it only goes so far.
Yeah.
So you
And
do
then you
600
get-
boxes, 700 boxes, just make it go, and you try to get those people that are at home, and everybody else can come in and get in line.
They open the truck. For my mother, for my grandmother, for my aunt. Yeah, 3 casas. Ojalá.
Mira, if you don't have it, Rosie has some, but there's some people that are elderly that can't cook anymore, they got a provider.
Yeah, pues está bien. Como Raúl, he probably gave the serving to Juana también, and she did it for him. She made it, and then he gave her a slice or something. She gave him a slice. Pero,
Look,
I gave one to Raúl, and he said, I'll do something about it, Raúl. Thank you. You can thank the county.
Commissioner, I'd be glad to offer myself and my staff to help you close in. Make it a little bit easier for precinct 1 and precinct 5.
Pues my wife knows everybody, the volada, you know, que. Yeah, uy, friegas, pero
look,
it's hard. Manually, labor. I mean,
Let's-
and I can do it, pero después vienen, hey, no me dices a mí. Pues ya no tengo. I made a list. I went and bought 20 more.
y-
turkeys.
que diga.
That's exactly what-
And then they say,
Yeah.
"Well, aquel eat dos."
No, that's exactly what me and Commissioner Neves told the food bank. Because they're gonna get double, we could have these and take it to.
You know, I had like 10 that I didn't make it. And then Telma was calling, hey, I need 10 turkeys. ¿De dónde? Pues the judge promised me 10. So no said the judge to go ask him where to get them.
so you got to the 10?
Yeah, but I didn't get her nothing. I didn't even get the 10 that I was
But
told.
even with the people, because I asked her for the list, and she wouldn't give me the list of the names. The
You
thing
didn't
is,
give me.
it's possible some people already got served, and that's the problem that you have, that they may have been
She's in
served.
your prison, and I'm not gonna give you her name. But don't give me her name.
So, right now, we just need to retract your motions and remake it just to,
Let's go
the-
buy more hams and then just do it.
just table it until the 15th, and then by then, we should have a plan of what we're gonna do.
I'll make a motion.
Okay. There a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Huh?
Did y'all table or you didn't table?
Table.
We retracted. The motion was to yes, retracted and made a motion. It was retracted and made a motion to table to the 15th.
To table the. Okay,
We retracted the motion.
The purchase.
We retracted the motion and then made the motion to table it until the 15th till we decide.
Okay, we don't wanna wait till the last minute, because then we're.
I mean, we'll
everything
start
else.
now, but we gotta come back on a,
Margie, ya te pete bien, Margie.
No, because at the end of the day, yeah, it's too late.
¿Qué es el second motion?
I made the motion. You did the second.
Jack
Jack
made
made the second.
No, Jack made the second. Possible action to accept sheriff and fire donations. They've had donations. I don't know if you want to let us know, Mary?
This is sheriff donation to the fire.
¿Quién se lo dio? Oye, dice, pues, 100 y 1000, hace 1000, ¿quién es? Oh, Lalo. Ajá, Lalo. I'm sure para que le den más jale. I know it's real good. I need a water. I see too.
How much, Judge?
What?
What's his name? This guy here?
This time? Up there.
How do you pronounce it?
Teofilo.
Is there a motion to accept the donations as presented?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. I have a contract here for Teofilo Sanchez, MD, for LaSalle County Fire and Rescue. We only signed for 3 months because that way y'all can take time and find somebody that you're comfortable with. But if we didn't do it last Friday, then we were gonna have to stop coverage. EMS, so kind of forced to sign. It's for $2,000 a month. There's 2 contracts that we had with the medical director. One was for this and the other one was for the countywide medical director. So y'all can decide next year who you're gonna hire for countywide medical director. Huh? The EMS, it's $2,000 a month, right? $2,000 a month, and it's only from December 1st through February 28th. And the motion would be to ratify. He's the medical director of Valverde County, you said?
Edwards County, and then he's a PR director in Del Rio.
In Del Rio. Tifilio, huh?
Teofilo Sanchez.
Yeah. And it's for $2,000 a month. But there's nothing on the contract for the medical, countywide medical director. So y'all can take time to find who fits.
Who's doctor is that?
Tifilo Sanchez from Valverde and Del Rio. But last week we had to sign, otherwise we had to cut the medical services. So it's only $2,000 a month. And it's only through February of next year. That way y'all can choose. Now remember, Dr. Wolf had another part of countywide. I had to, I really think it was in the best interest to go ahead and let him go. So that position will be open next year for y'all to hire and advertise for. So I didn't make a decision on that. It's only to cover the medical, bare minimum medical.
EMS.
EMS. And Rolf was being paid $1,400 a month, $1,450 a month, and this is for $2,000 a month?
Rob, the Kenny say $1,750,
50.
and this one, $3,000 out.
Okay.
The other one we reached out to, we're asking $5,000 to $6,000 per month.
Well, once you decide?
No, other medical directors.
Well, once y'all decide and settle in.
This gentleman was okay with $2,000.
So I'm asking you to ratify the contract for the EMS director between Defilio Sanchez, MD, and LaSalle County Fire and Rescue from December 1st, 2022 to February 28th, 2023. for an amount of $2,000 a month. And he already had his bonding information, so it's not gonna cost us. But he does have to provide it.
So after that, if he's okay, we can keep him.
You can keep him if you like him, you can go back and advertise, but you also need to find a county-wide medical director,
Okay.
so you'll have to do that.
Till February.
So we would need a motion to ratify the contract, ending on February 28th, 2023. So is there a motion?
Then
I'll make the motion.
Mary, we need a copy. Is there a second? Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. So, next item, which I think you got the contracts back. The discussion and or possible action with Arturo G. Garza for professional medical services for LaSalle County Regional Detention. And the other item is discussion possible action on service agreement with Abundant Medical Staffing LLC for compensation increase.
On the information you sent me for the change?
Yes.
On Friday, they were able to change the date that you requested. And they removed the section of the,
Indemnity?
yes, sir. And then on the last couple of pages is this paperwork for his insurance for his services.
So, the Regional Detention Center has had a doctor employed by the county since we took it over, and it was something that even the operator, Emerald, had to do. So it's a mandatory requirement. So he's responsible for all the medical care that nurses provide for all the patients. And he doesn't see the patients in Laredo, does he?
Some of them,
Some of them get sent to him?
yes.
But that's a separate billing he does with the US Marshal.
Right, yes, sir.
So this is only the oversight. And how much was he being paid now?
I believe it was 7,000 on the old contract, and for his new compensation, he was asking for 11,000.
And he's up to date with everything?
On the majority of the stuff with Ms. Casillas, she's been bringing that stuff up to par since the last time we talked, along with the addition of the new RN we have at the facility as well. So they've been working on that.
I've never met the doctor. I mean, I don't think none of us have ever met him or seen him or...
Only, I talked to him a couple times on the phone,
So you haven't seen him either?
not personally.
Like, how many days does he come? He's standby now, or like?
They have a schedule, him and his wife visit the facility, and they both provide the services to the facility.
It's kind of like Dr. Rope with the fire department before, that we never got to see him until we met him years later when he had COVID. Other than that, I've never met him. So he was on board almost 7 years until we finally met him. Dr. Rope, because he's been here like 10 years. And it's the same thing with this doctor. They do the protocols for the nurses, and the nurses call him when they got problems. So,
Ya lo conocen todos.
so this is a renewal of a contract. Is Ms. Martinez read it already also?
The only thing that changed was the pay on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they took the indemnity clause off. They wanted us to identify them, and we can't, so that's good.
He made that change very quickly. From Friday, we changed it right off the contract.
So, let me read the contract.
Need a motion.
You have to accept the contract as presented by the sheriff for a new contract with Dr. Arturo G. Garza.
I'll make the motion.
Motion's been made and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Where's the contractor?
Para que no se enfermen los inmates.
So the next one is the Abundant Medical Staffing LLC.
Who was that one, Chris?
Abundant Medical Staffing LLC.
Who's for you people?
On this contract, it was
Yeah,
gonna be the same thing, a compensation change on it for the staff.
That's what
Make sure it goes to Margie first so she can record it.
On,
Where's compensation?
there's gonna be a rate change on the EMT and the LVN services. Right now, they're having a difficult time bringing in contract workers into the medical, so, they requested a compensation increase on that to help them provide the staff that they need. A lot of the base salaries were like way under it. We currently had $31 an hour for EMTs, and LVNs were getting 43, and they're being paid a difference at other places, $37.20 for EMTs, and then the LVNs were getting $49.60. So the services we were requesting to help at the facility, they're not wanting to come because the pay's not that great. So this will help us bring in the staff that we need for the medical department, and hopefully keep them there to help us with the staffing along to help the doctor get done whatever he needs to do. So it would be a compensation increase for the difference.
This is only as needed, right?
Right, it's
How-
that needed.
How much have you used them right now on?
I think we've used maybe about a handful. I don't have the exact number right now, but I know they have used a couple of them, the ones that are close by. And that's barely that they want to come because of the pay.
Así se dicen, abandoned medical.
Yeah. So, with this pay increase, hopefully it'll help us draw in more help, and not just from nearby, but from other places to come help with the facility.
And so you have to go up on your medical staff to keep them too?
Yes. So as soon as, that per diem goes into effect, we'll see where that leaves our medical staff as with the increase.
Yeah, if you get, well, basically you've been, the per diem is already put into your staff and your medical and your employees, because
Yes.
that's the only way to keep them.
Yeah, the majority was going to them.
So you're gonna have to get us a copy of the agreement with the changes? Do you have it? Or have you received it yet?
Yes.
And then, we would need a motion to accept the increases.
This was the previous rate, and then the last page has the new rate. Only the LVN and the EMT rates changed.
Six. The LVN.
So this would be a motion to ratify the contract with Abundant Medical Staffing LLC.
Nobody wants to make the motion. I'll make it.
Oh, we're still looking at it. Well, you can make it.
Okay, let me just. This sheriff deal.
So is there a motion to ratify the contract with Abundant
I'll make the
Medical?
motion.
Is there a second? Motion's been made and second to ratify the contract. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. So next thing we do, it's the same thing, sign it and get it to Margie.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yes, sir. So we're on the bills. What?
Come in. ¿verdad? Se bajaron, se lo metió fácil. Ya, ya la pura que me dicho.
$44.
No,
I'm gonna try to send you all this. It's up to you. It's up to the bring all of them. Yeah. What's that?
yo me mix it. Every day.
Some of this okay? You wanna know? What bills are left? Are you also looking at bills? Y'all look at all the bills? Was there any bills that you didn't want to pay? Huh? And you looked at both of them?
No, I haven't seen those.
Okay.
We checked them over there, okay?
You finished with those?
Very good. Hay que mandarte folders. Hay que mandarte unos folders.
I'm pushing Jack out of the way over there. Jorge, did you get copies of the budget? For everybody? Okay. I got 2 extra. You get one to Jack,
Ahí está.
and then here are your 2 extra.
Yeah, Rex. In the queue.
Hmm?
You want to show papers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because what you want to do over there, if you don't have that here, it doesn't matter. So you want to see the picture, and then I can project it.
You want to do a sample first?
Or is it going to be a whole packet?
No, just a few. This one, huh? No. I'm put them in order. You don't have to have a new budget analysis yet? No. I like one before the end of the year, but we're okay. I think I got Jorge September one. No, I got a 1028 one. I got a 1028 one. We done? Almost?
That's it.
Just, check it.
I'll make the motion to approve the bills as presented.
Motion's been made. Is there a second? To approve the bill as presented.
Second.
Commissioner Alba, second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. So now we're on the budget. So at the last meeting we let go, we'd gone over the pools, the parks, on the increased. And I know you talked to Robert to see what actually was needed, because you're down right now some workers, right?
Yes, that's,
So, just to have a clear understanding, in the amount of what you need and how many more you're gonna get, you know, what? Because, I was thinking, well, if he's down 3, 4 workers and we're still call it out.
Yeah.
They still gotta call it out, no matter who it is, they still gotta call it out. So the thing is, do you put it out for bids now, or do you hire somebody? I mean, what would you like, Robert?
I would think, hire somebody and just like, or maybe training or something.
Yeah, and then those,
The going rate right now is about 80,000 for just a regular tech.
How much?
80 more or less.
But that's a part-time.
That,
So that's like for a tech that does that.
but that's what they pay, what we pay for the contract, or is that somebody that we hire?
No, there's somebody that does it all the time and for all day, you know, so
But
that's not gonna apply here.
Yeah, that would work, like if it was a full-time, you had a bunch of generators, that's all you're doing all day long.
Yeah, but that's not gonna apply here. So we probably gonna have to work it out as far as how much.
I mean, you put out the advertisement, and then if you like them, you interview, and you say a salary range from here to here, and then you negotiate.
No.
You negotiate between there.
The guys that you have right now, Robert, is any of them a little bit más o menos, they could do that stuff también, if you train them a little bit?
A lot of them will be like Danville.
Generators or motors and stuff like that, that you can probably have someone you can train. That you can have someone train, and they may want to work for the county, but secure, because the oil field goes up and down, up and down. So that way, I'll put the advertisement, that way next year at your first meeting, you get the bids, and then you all go through it, or you put the advertisement and you hire them.
Can we do both?
You can do both. And then next year you all decide. I know that some of this business will take care and carry over next year, and I'll fix it like we decided on the doctor, you know, that way you all make a decision. The same thing with this, decision has to be made, but I don't want to waste time. I mean, there's some judges that lose, some people lose, and they don't do anything else. I've stayed working all the way to the very end. I mean, I got paid for it, I'm gonna finish working, but I already have those things, advertisements from the last time, and just do two things, put both out. And that was some way for them to turn in their credentials by January 15th or something like that, and then we all decide. So,
We'll do that, put it on paper and then on the newspaper and
then you can amend the budget there, you know,
we'll do it.
you can amend the budget there.
We'll find a mechanic between Road and Bridge, or he hires one that knows a little bit.
No, because right now, we don't have a contract with anybody, so it's something that has to be addressed. There's no contract. We haven't had a contract, but it's just been carrying over month to month, and that has to be taken care of. So, then we'll do that. Jorge, you want to keep going? I'm sorry.
Judge, Commissioner, there were a few changes to the budget that was handed out. There was a lot of discussion on some items at the last meeting. For example, the JP salaries and the constable salaries. Those were not, since no decision was made, those were not incorporated into the proposed budget. There is a separate handout, a 4-page handout, that will tell you how much it costs to get all the JP salaries equal, all of the constable salaries equal, and the sheriff also submitted a proposal for increase in salary for the deputies based on Ontario. And that's also included in the handout. So both the only changes that were made to the last budget you all had was that we reduced legal fees, $150,000. We increased the appraisal district fee, that was about $10,000. And then there were some additional personnel for the partial fees.
In the legal fees, I made some changes also on some of the items on your administrative expenses. And I think CASA and Children's Alliance had increases.
Yes.
And I didn't see it on Children's Alliance that it went up. Now, we have the Chamber of Commerce and the Rodeo Association that need to be, that are added. We left 40,000, but this year, we didn't budget, but we paid them 40,000. and it didn't come to the Commissioner's Court. So they billed us, you know, it wasn't a lot, it shouldn't have been paid because it wasn't approved. And we did budget for the chamber, but it can only be used for county purposes only. So they have to come up, it can't be used based on their operations, and they've never clarified that. And there's an AG opinion on that, and then Ms. Martinez also gave an opinion that they could use it for things for economic development, for safety, for law enforcement, or something else. So in fact, she also gave an opinion, but it didn't meet any of those three things. So it wouldn't be worth putting anything until you get that addressed. You can still go back and amend it, but they gotta give you something back. And even the Farm Bureau, they're a nonprofit. They said just because they're a nonprofit, that they're entitled to, we can't give to all nonprofits by law. They have to have a specific allowance that's allowed by county government. So they haven't given us how they use it. It can't just because it's going to be a celebration. Like we could give one stock show a year, but they got to show that the money goes back to the kids. So the Fair Association getting $40,000, they got to show you that the money's going back to the kids. It's economic development or health and safety, which they have bathrooms and law enforcement or law enforcement. But it has to be specific. And okay, we trust them, we give it to them once, and they have to come back, but then they get mad at you because, oh, you're doing it. Well, the reason I'm doing it and asking these questions is because I don't want to get in trouble later on. You know, you think, well, maybe nobody here, people's going to complain, but they can complain from outside the county, and we can be in trouble. It doesn't have to be from within. So I'd rather not get in trouble and say, hey, put these two as zero, and let them make a presentation and give you proof on what they spend next year. You can always amend your budget. The only thing you can't amend is on salaries. You can amend everything else.
You're talking about the fair.
The fair, and they gotta come back, and the fair and the chamber.
Yeah.
The chamber didn't tell us what they're doing, and we put them on the agenda, they didn't come in, but it can't be used for
them.
For supplement. It has to be for economic. Like I said,
Equipment.
we got some famous people. You know, maybe someday. I mean, right now, like I wanted to see a big old billboard of Haley Kinsel or Phil Lyons or somebody, you know, advertise them, but they're kind of private, you know. But there might be a situation like that where you pay for something, and I mean, you know, home of so-and-so.
They can put a sign, home of champions.
Yeah. And
No, okay, no.
but it's things like that. Maybe the cost of the new bulletin board they put, maybe we can do the cost of the bulletin also because economic development. But it has to be specific, so it's not that I'm against, they have to identify how they're going to use the money. So George, so there's a couple changes there.
And we should probably just also,
They're supposed to give us an audit, right?
well, some of them are so small that they probably can't afford an audit. But at least the IRS 994, just so that we know that they are a current nonprofit and that they haven't lost their status.
But it's kind of like,
They make a lot of money.
but like even in Senate, we've helped them out, but they haven't provided us a copy of their audit. I don't think they've had it audited in a couple of years. So they gotta provide those, that way we have proof that it's legitimate. And we know they're there, but, you know, follow through the paperwork. Proceed, Jorge, I'm sorry. He'll make some changes, but not that much.
Well, the only other thing good was the handout and what it would cost to get the elected official salary, JP constable, the same. And if you look at the 4-page handout, the first page is a summary.
Okay.
So currently the budget is showing revenues over expenditures of $919,677.
When you say revenues, you're looking at all combined revenues?
All four.
General fund, so that's what you report, and historically in Hill Country, it was 1,200, 351, 352, 353, 354, I don't know what the number is now.
Well, the second page, because of the handout has the salaries of the four JPs.
Okay. So you have it identified as 35111, 35112, 35113, 35114, so that'd be the sum of that equal to 900,000?
The 900,000 is just what we currently have.
On the budget?
If you look at page 34, the total of the general fund, revenues over expenditures is $919,000. And I think that's on page 34 of the budget. And that would be the very last number on the last column, the 900.
Now, are you looking at county, the state fees or just county fines?
This is everything.
Sorry. So when we're looking at this, you're looking at these fines?
What I'm looking at is overall. All revenues, all expenses.
Okay.
Right now, we have a difference of $190,000.
So that's all general funds, so that's real property taxes, delinquent taxes. Okay.
So it's actually when you submit it, minus all of the expenses that we have for all of the departments.
Now, this year, we're almost $1 million short, maybe more in collections. As I guess somewhere around July, our collections are down based on the way they were allocated by over $1 million. So on the ad valorem, what makes it very hard is that they're entitled to a discount for paying early. And it's like 90% of the taxes we get are from oil and gas. You know, it gets pretty hard on that percentage, so it may affect our collections too. That's the hardest thing, because you got your uncollected taxes and you got your discount, and what we reflect on our budget are that as well. So if we do run a shortage in collections, then it affects everything as well. So that's why you need some cushion.
And I think that the outsourcing of the tax bills themselves, since they went out earlier, we got a lot of money in October and November. So I mean, we've already, the tax office has already collected over $20 million of the total that we're going to collect in October and November. So I think that the outsourcing of the billing really helped to get that money in.
Okay.
So that middle column is just the same number. It's the salary of the highest earning JP, which is precinct 1. So then you have the variance. So it's a total variance in salaries of 28,000. So you take fringe benefits approximately 20%. That's where the $34,000 figure comes from.
But the 61,853 doesn't show The other supplements, the travel or anything else?
No, it does not.
Okay.
The next phase would be the difference of the constables. And Constable Precinct 2 is the one that makes the most, the other three are the same. So that last column is the variance and it's the same amount for the three constables that are making this. So that's a total of 17,000 plus the 20% fringe benefit, for a total of 20,740. And the last page on that handout is the handout that the worksheet the sheriff sent me on the longevity pay for his deputies.
Well, I know we said we discussed longevity pay with everybody else, so we can put it off until we cover that. Because address them, because then it's not right to address one group and not everybody.
Right.
So we had said we'd wait on that. So you didn't reflect any budget changes on that yet, have you?
No,
Okay.
what you see on this handout is not incorporated into the proposed budget right now.
Yeah.
You want to finish with this first?
No. Or are you still on the JP?
No,
No, let's stay on the JP. Now, I put a sheet like this up there. And then this sheet, when we look at salaries, and I have everybody analyzed as far as all the counties, you know, the county judge, tax assessor, commissioner, sheriff, I got everybody analyzed the same way. And you can rotate it.
Was that requesto?
Huh?
Was that requesto?
Okay, let's see that.
Rectangular.
Is there a way to rotate it? You're
I
still
don't
working?
think so, not on that page. Let me just try something else. No, the projector now. I can do this.
And Commissioners, did I give you some of these?
I don't know.
Here. Do I have for everybody? I thought I added to yours, looking at it. I give to you, I think I gave you some. No? Why would you have a little bit, so I can look at it, or maybe I got more. Huh? Okay. When we look at what we've done, and there's a salary study, so it's not like I just came out of it, which is a 2020 salary edition, which covers all the counties. Our county, the smallest one of several surrounding counties, is LaSalle County's population is between the range of 5,000 to 10,000. And the high salary, including the travel, is 67,853, which is JP number 1, and the low is $54,099. Dimmitt County high, which they're from 10,000 to 25,000 people, and their oil revenues are pretty much matching our tax values, pay 49,579, and the low is 43. Frio County pays 52,000 across the board, all four. Zavala County, also up to 25,000 people, pays 31,000 the high, 13,000 the low. Zapata pays 39,000 for the high, 35,000 for the low. Medina County, which is from 50,000 to 100,000 people, or 99,999, pays 54,000 across the board, all four of them. Uvalde County, which is from 25,000 people to 100,000 people, they pay 36,754 to all their GPs. And Valverde pays, and they're also up to 100,000 people, pays 53,594 for the high, 51,594. And we've been paying good money for work, and at some point you got to cap it on how far you're going to go because you get too far out of the region. When cities have twice as much and twice as many people. And regardless of what you decide today, the reasons I've come in was because, you know, I've seen the argument between JP1 and JP3, or JP3, JP1, which I've included on magistration. We were paying extra for magistration for Fridays. We were. And we offered last year to go back to one precinct across the board, and they didn't want to. But then when we put these statements out here, they say, oh, I got 3 now, I need to pay more. Well, we gave that solution, we gave that offer, they didn't want it, and now they want to get paid for it. So you can't have both. I mean, I could put it on it so people can see on the responses, but that's the concern that JP Trigo has. Is that, well, you know, we're paying $10,000 more, and then nobody's available. So we equipped everybody, we got the money to where they can do video magistration, so you really can't come back unless there's certain circumstances. And in the last few years, I said, hey, you know what? You know, I picked on Meglorino, you're not working enough, you're not harder, you've seen it, and he said, let's wait. Well, the best solution is, you know what, even it out. The people elected you all to that, that's what they wanted. You know, we decided to keep the precincts as is, that's what they wanted. Then just make them equal across the board.
Even though some of them work more than others.
But see, in the past, you fought me on that and you kept it. So how can you say no the other way now? You can't go back and forth.
So you're trying to say that they're all working the same?
No, but the last time I told you they're not working the same. And I said, hey, let's cut Meglorino because they don't have work. Let's cut Janey because they don't have the work. And let's change the precinct. And you said, no, let's keep them the same. So now you're saying, well, no, I know they don't work right, but what do you do?
No, I'm not talking about them, I'm talking about the others.
Because they got more workers. How many times have we heard in the past, I got so much work that I need more people. I got so much work that I need more staff.
Who's
Now,
that? Who's that?
We heard it when we got the third person. We gave a part-time to that man, and then we gave her a full person.
There was already 3 people in there.
Huh?
There was already 3 people in there.
It is very off and on, and I'm gonna tell you something. Back in 2013, the budget, the collections were $778,000 for JP number 1. 2014, it was set at $925,000. And in 2012, $697,000. And you say, don't bear it based on collections, but the activity that was coming in generated money, and that activity has not changed.
Right, so in those years, JP1's husband was the sheriff. So now compare how much was JP3, JP2, and JP4 making. They were not making citations because the sheriff's office was giving it to JP1. And you said it came out of your mouth.
You always say everything comes out of my mouth when it benefits you, but you can come speak up here in a minute, but if you could put this over here, bring it to this page. No, it's part of it. It's part of the budget process. Because, one more time. In the budget, Trigo addresses the issue that you're being compensated $10,000 more. $10,000 more for working during the week. And that $10,000 is part of the budget, what we're talking about, whether it's allocated or not allocated. That's what we're talking about.
But Mr. Trigo also got a $10,000 raise, Judge.
the thing is, we've tried to give everybody and brought everybody up. And in your case, in your response to Trigo wrote, since I've been here 15 years, JP1 has always magged Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and received an extra payment of $10,000. When you were elected judge, you solely decided that you would not mag on Friday because your weekend started on Friday. As you know, we are 4 JPs with equal powers. You made the decision not to mag on Fridays without the consent of any other 3 judges. Now, your response to Trigo, which is in red, which I have it there, and you can put it, I am well aware of your 15-year term, and I value and respect your wisdom when it comes to the law. How is it fair, and why does it bother you so much how much money I make? I have 3 precincts, and my caseload is a lot greater than any other JP in the area. We voted to redistrict, and we voted to say, hey, this is only one, and you wanted all 3. So now you're complaining about all 3 because you're not getting paid enough.
You're arguing over a Friday.
We're not talking about salary.
It's not like I'm mad in my,
So
you're arguing over a Friday.
you're not asked to come up here.
When you said for me to come to the
When you come to speak, I mean, you've been back there. Yes, and when we give you the ability to talk.
Make up your mind up.
What I'm at is last year,
Their conversation.
we first decided to break up the precincts. And then in Ensenada, we decided to switch it back. And that's where I really got after you on it. And now you're seeing, oh no, I'm working 3 now, I need to get paid more. Which is it? You can't go back and forth. So I've come, I think I agree. I said, you know what? They've all been elected, split them up 4 ways, equal. Just the way the commissioners are, just the way the county workers, the county at Wide Market, we want all the same. And y'all know it, the judge is way up here, all that. We've tried to even it out as much as we can, and it's been better, and it pays better. But even the constables are pretty close. You know, this is the one that needs to decide. If you want to leave it at 56, it's fine. You know, but I wanted to show you one of the parameters of we're paying more than any other county in the surrounding areas. And the workload has gone down. Whether it's economics or not, you know, whether you can sustain in the future, I don't know. But I do know that if you're going to pay someone to do the work, then you make them come through it.
What's that? Okay, what's the average on the revenues? Do you have any, más o menos?
I don't have any information.
I'll average on,
How much you bring in?
Yeah, each JP.
It's right there.
Only.
here, no, that's countywide. That's countywide, let me get it here.
The report, I didn't report it.
Yeah, but it's not on that. Is it on Mary report?
The union report.
It's a Mary report?
Section 2.
A ver, un número acá. What page?
Section 2.
Tells you how much they bring in. That's what I want to know. No, it's for what it is. It's 100%. ¿Cuánto está?
This is November.
52.
32. Oh, no, no, sir, no tengo todo.
Credit cards. Fine, acá está todo. Y receipts. And this.
This is, what is budget analysis from November. On the JP.
I took on 369, no. Well, that's a lot of difference.
But it is a lot of difference.
What a precinct 2 beat precinct 3.
But if you look at back in 13 and 14, Janie was collecting like 80,000 a year. I think 2 years in a row, she did like 80,000 a year.
That's when you took away her husband from giving tickets to her.
Well,
That's why she went broke.
but I mean, they can give her tickets from DPS and
They don't
the
go
sheriff's
with it.
office too. I don't know if they get them.
They don't go with it.
I don't know if they get them. Look, we can argue back and forth all
No,
day.
we're never gonna hear the end. Why don't we just leave it how it is?
No, I mean.
Oh, you don't want to?
I'd say it needs to be averaged out. It needs to be averaged out.
Yeah, how it is right
You
now.
know, I mean, Trigo pretty much said it, they all have the equal powers. They all have the equal powers. And now with the legal administration, they can do equal amount of administration from the House. So that's a good benefit deal. So that makes up a difference because those magistrations are not
That's not
reflected
fair
because you
for
don't
her.
collect money.
No, it needs to stay how it is. Because there's a lot of difference. She makes 365,000 and the other one's about 136.
But in 12 and 13 and 14, I mean, there used to be a lot more money coming in.
Even Janie brought 50,000, you know, that's for somebody being out there.
But
that's her salary.
No.
the thing is, last year, and we're not gonna take action, I'm gonna present to the budget, you either vote or you don't. If you don't end up with a budget and you don't approve it, then it's done. It's done. But I do the workshop so we can cover it. It's not set today, we
I
approve
mean,
it,
I
it's set when we
like
approve the
Trejo,
budget.
I like Ramirez, but he lost. I mean, now
No.
he's fighting.
But you fought me last year, we do this, and now you wanna go back the
Oh, I
other
didn't
way.
want to align the precinct. That's the only thing I haven't liked.
Well, huh?
That's the only thing I didn't like. Align them.
But the alignment comes with the extra work and the extra money that comes in.
And I
So,
don't
and that's
want
something that was considered last year, so, you know, if you would've realigned it, then Janie would've got a worker
and you
and
know,
employee as well.
I mean, I don't want to bring it up why you wanted to align them. I don't want to bring it up.
The reason is that everybody's been equal, you try to spread the work equally. And otherwise, we're just gonna be keep getting after everybody else.
Who's doing that? Nobody's doing that.
Huh?
Nobody's complaining.
You don't have to worry about the money because I do all the work for you. You sit down, hire a supervisor, and you don't do shit.
Where?
You know, you,
Supervisor?
yeah.
What are you talking about?
I mean, you have a supervisor working for you.
Well, that we
Commissioner.
all do.
And you say, oh, I work so much.
We all
Well,
do.
you are commissioners as
I
supervisors
do
by
so
law.
much phone work and I mean, you don't know how
No,
much.
I don't think so.
You never answer the phone, Carl.
Oh, why would I answer it from you?
Why are you gonna argue with
You
me?
want to call Ms. Ledwick right now and see who answers the phone?
No,
You call Ms. Ledwick right now and see who answers the phone?
I'll call her.
Yeah,
She
you
answers
don't.
the phone. Yes, ma'am, yes, sir.
The thing is, Raul,
No, wait a minute. I'm
Thing is,
not gonna do what you wanna do with the JPs in the council.
my thing is,
But you don't have
we'll
the
come
right.
up,
you don't have
I
the
mean,
right
you all decide to vote on it.
Yeah,
But all in all,
let's go by the vote.
all in all, we're not gonna vote on it today. We'll put it on the budget.
Okay.
And then you vote on the final budget. But to make it clear, LaSalle County top salary pays $67,853 for the highest salary. Dimmitt County pays $49,579. They got twice as many people. Frio County pays $52,166. Zavala County pays $31,841 for JP. Zapata County carries $39,800. Medina County pays $54,000. All have more people. Uvalde pays $36,754, and Valverde County pays $53,594. It can all be found online at the Texas Association of Counties website salary survey. So if people want to see what we're paying, that's fine. Because I have to work at keeping the money up, and that's something you don't do daily. So when you try to balance, and what I say, we got this much money, we got 900,000. Well, this year we're $1 million short. So we're $1 million short next year, then you have to come back from reserves to cover your payroll and your salary and everything else.
We keep giving raises to everybody, that's why there's point.
We have some, and he said we cover it if they work. If they work. But you got people that do not work equally, and you want to be everybody's friend because you want to continually get reelected, but you got to make financial decisions, whether this year or next year.
Before we move on, I have a question.
Yes.
So, if you want to pay us all equally, does that mean you're going to cut my pay
Yes.
to compensate everybody, all the other JP's pay, or are we just all going to get paid the same?
I'm-
They're just going to get a raise?
I'm asking to average everybody's salary based on what's in there yet.
So you're going to take our average pay and you're going to do.
Average it, yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Average it. You know, I can get into it on conferences and things and activities and how often the office is closed, because there's AG opinions on office closures, and I have them. And when you work full-time, you expect 80 hours. And when you close, and we went it to the other JP, it specifically states that they get paid by the hour. The commissioners can influence the hours that they have to remain open to the public. You know, I can put an amount, you know, I can see what y'all want to do, or we can stay with a budget and you don't have no budget until next year. I mean, you're done.
My office is open during the lunch hour, it doesn't close.
Every day of the week.
We close at 2:30 on Friday. But you only see my office, you don't see James' office, you don't see Chico's office, you don't see Weisel's office, so exactly.
You know, you mentioned that I don't look at everybody and I don't witness without you even knowing or understanding. You know, that's one of the concerns. I can tell you one thing. I analyzed all the commissioners. This thing I read from LaSalle County, Dimmitt County, and everything on the raises. I analyzed every single office to see if we're comparable with everybody else. And you come up here, I got so much work and so forth and so much, and then we gave it to you. And at the same time, the revenues just go down. There's no lie that the revenues have gone down. They've gone down twice as much as the other JP. And when you mentioned 900,000 surplus, the total collection from all the JPs is 676. So maybe statutory law changes, I don't know what, but it used to be that each office was self-sufficient and they didn't hit the general. Everything's hitting the general fund. Your other fees are going down. There'll be a point where you don't have your minerals and there's enough monies in the other departments to make it through, and you're gonna have bad cutoffs just like Zapata did. And Zapata did it. Believe me, it's gonna happen. But
They wouldn't be bidding right now if we didn't have any minutes.
you know what? It's not forever you make it happen.
But we won't be here to see it.
So just because you're not here to see it doesn't mean you don't care about the future?
Yes, but it's gonna change.
It- it-
Nowadays, you know how much the stake is. It's gonna change, it already changed.
But you make things work, like we did the fees reports and the
You can't
permits.
predict
So you
the
make, you make the money work
You can't
and
predict.
maximizing what you can do as a county. But keep in mind, even though I can show you what they're paying in surrounding areas, you know, you all like to reward based on your political alliances. You need to pay based on the work that's being produced.
Can he put this on that screen? So easy, Judge, just.
It's so easy for you because when I get to, when I was starting supervisor, you don't have to worry about the daily calls or the contracts or anything else. You go drive your truck, you tell your guy to work and that's it.
I don't have to worry.
No, you do. You do. You've missed a lot of them because you gotta do hauls.
No.
We can call those meetings, you
I
know.
can't, there's
But
one or two.
you miss a lot of meetings.
Most of them are doctor appointments because you don't tell us when you're gonna make the meeting.
We're trying to do it twice a week and I've been trying to work with the treasurer around payroll because she likes to be here.
You want to put it on the screen, mijo, just to let her see? On the fiscal year, mira.
even though we're gonna be about $1 million short, and we align them the way they are here, we align them, they'll still be good.
And then you need one more month, Roxanne. And look what you brought. so far.
Now, Mary, that report right there that says 589, of that report, that includes your state fees, right?
Yes.
So half of that, 40 to 50% of that goes to the state. What you show in your book, is only the county portion, because there's another thing called criminal justice that
Okay.
shows the JP collections that equal that.
I'm just referring to that average.
So it's not an average, it's a total.
Yeah,
But that's state,
for each precinct.
yes, but that's state and that's general. When Mary gets that, she has to break it up into different fees. Your consolidated court costs, your time payment fees, or whatever, she has to break it up and send it in a report to the state. You have to deduct that. So when I mentioned this stuff from Vicky collecting 781, that's just the county portion.
No, but
She
what
was
is-
collecting
what do you-
1.4 million.
What are you referring to?
So they would cut that in half, no?
You had cut it in
Don't
half.
matter.
So you cut it in half, that would be about
Don't matter,
295.
You're gonna cut
About
everybody in
290.
half.
So who are we blaming, me, the troopers, or the sheriff's office?
The-
If I was the one that was
The,
the-
the thing is, if you look at the numbers and the tickets that are being done,
I'm not the
and on your Hill Country has a code for each person that enters, right, on computer?
Yes.
And when you turn in those tickets, you can go down the tickets and say, okay, I worked so many cases per day. If you look at the cases that are being done by Trigo and Wyco, their workers work more manual tickets than yours do on an average. So, I don't know, maybe there's a problem in the software not getting to you, maybe they're not generating them to you. I don't know, I can go in specifics, and very specific, that might be concerning.
Like you said that, Captain Bettyford had told you so many citations were gone, when in fact I have the text messages that you never spoke
He-
to Captain Bettyford, you lied to me.
No, I did not lie, and I called him, and he came to your office, and he said he could request an audit. And I'm gonna tell you real quick, you're writing the line that on some people you put monitors and you give them PR bonds on violent offenses when they're not supposed to, and other people you put monitors,
Sir, on felony offenses I do.
and that's equal to do so. I mean, on your statute, it says aggravated assault, which is the 22.01 1A assault that hits that amount based on the thing, on some of those people. What I'm saying is you do what you want and you affect what you want. And you run that office the way you want. And you're not fair with everybody.
That's my office.
And you're not
I
fair.
don't tell you how to run your
And how you do your fair affects that collection.
No. I'm sorry, but you're wrong.
No, I'm not. And we can get DPS to do an audit, which I did request an audit, and then we get to see how many people you treat,
Captain
whether
Bettyford
CDL.
came to see me.
And he came to see me right before he saw you.
Really? Because
Yes.
that was the messages.
Yeah, he came to see me, and he said you backed off.
Of what?
We backed off because you didn't want an audit.
If you'd like, I'd ask him to come to the next.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. We can have him. I'll call the captain above him to come in. But it's not gonna change my mind on this. You know, it's just been playing little games with you.
That's okay. You do what you have to, and I'll do what I have to.
And the other thing, commissioners, and you're here, last time she said she had an attorney. We really shouldn't be even talking to her.
I never said I hired an attorney.
Well, you said you had an attorney.
On the charges that
You said
wrote-
my attorney.
Can I take the bench?
No.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry.
So I'll go to a different topic, but commissioners, I wanted your guidance. Do you want to pay them all equal? Pay them all 61? Because this side of the budget they get, all 56? Or you want to leave it as is? I mean, I get it, but I'm telling you, people out there are watching what you're doing. They're watching and it's not right. It's not right. I mean, I can tell you people aren't being treated right, and it's gonna fall back on y'all. I'm not gonna be here.
On that one, Jorge, even though we're gonna be about $1 million short, if the constables
He has about a million, he has about a million extra.
But,
He has about a million extra, 900 extra, right? The concern is that your collections, all these collections are based on an estimate. There's no guarantee. Sometimes we collect a little bit more, sometimes less. This last year, we collected a little bit less. There's money in reserves. The thing is that at some point, if this is what we're paying, and the state already looked at this book, which I wanted back, whoever got it or whatever. The state already analyzes and shows what we're paying. Oh, I got it here. You know, other people are looking and they expect us to make rational decisions. We get rated by the federal government and by the New York Stock Exchange. We got a AA rating. And that's because this is the way you run county government. You're supposed to run it like county government. And when you start straying away and being off from everybody else, all that affects on what they think of you from the outside. And that makes a difference on how you borrow, how you operate, how you're looked on the outside. You know, it's embarrassing. A couple of years ago when we went to a meeting in Austin, what did Jim Allison say? Go to LaSalle County, they got all maquinitas there. And that's the perception of people. And it affects us. And where that affects us is when you want economic development and you want more hotels and stuff like that, you know, they're not going to want to stop at Cotula because it's too out of control. So you all have to make legitimate decide what salary you really need to do and if you're really going to work for it. You know, even if they come back and do 61 across all the board. And I'm saying, hey, I'm doing this because, hey, people need to work. We fight amongst ourselves, bitterly fight amongst ourselves. And one time it's good this way, one time it's bad the other way, and I don't know if it's the right answer, but I want to put a number on the budget, on the salaries, and I hope it's fair for everybody, but, you know, last year we decided to keep everything equal and leave everybody equal. You know, what's it going to be next year? Is it going to go completely the opposite? So, okay, we'll go to the next item and I'll put a number and at the next meeting on the 15th when we approve the budget, then they vote yes or no, or they can amend the budget. They can amend the budget and outvote me.
Do we have to wait for the next meeting to?
This is budget, this is budget,
Analysis.
yeah, this is a budget workshop only. I have to approve the budget, motion to adopt the budget.
Okay, let's go to Mr.
So-
Martinez, he's got work to do.
So this is where we're stuck.
Also
Right, so,
on the road and bridge, we had approved, just to keep the capital outlay,
Yeah,
and it's not on
I
there.
noticed it's still separate. It shows machinery and equipment, but I think you did put it for us, but maybe not on the road and bridge.
yeah, 75 or 100? 50.
Elderly nutrition. Okay, on the road and bridge,
50,000.
It's called machinery and equipment, it's not called capital outlay.
It's the same.
so it's there. Okay, on elderly nutrition. I had cut one on each. We don't have COVID right now. Y'all want to keep it or take it back? I cut one from Ensenada, one from Cotula,
What was that?
on one of the workers on the budget. You can leave it or keep it. The thing is, in Ensenada and Cotula, people need to use the center. They need to come in. In Ensenada, they need to come in. We've come through a lot of expense. And if only 10 or 15 people are going, that's not enough. You gotta have more people. They're getting free food, you're all going through a lot of expenses. They need to take advantage of it. You know, so you can try it another year and try to get the numbers up. I know Damiana's getting more people to go, she's asked, but even locally, we need to get the elderly to get involved.
Do they
So,
still carry the food to the houses, people that can't come? Don't know.
They really meet.
and she did it there for a while, but then it happened that the kitchen was not a commercial kitchen, and it closed. So it wasn't until now that we got it, but if the people have complaints about some workers that they don't like, they need to let you all know so they can participate, you know, otherwise, you know, they need to, you know, show up. Because the food is good, and even here, I mean, you got people of age, and I see teachers over 60 and other people, workers over 60 that are going, that's good. But they gotta take, because you all put a lot of money. We're spending about $500,000 a year on food, maybe more. About 500, maybe more, on food for both. And maybe, we only get reimbursed about 40,000 from the state.
And all that food, is limited, Rosie, like for what people you got, or just do so much and then have to throw it, no? On the food, everything goes to use, no se tira mucho.
Yes, because we do for, I mean, we.
All right. Está bien?
I mean, and Rosie works with you, if somebody has cancer, people will say something because they're having a hardship and they may not be hitting the income threshold, she works with them as well. They just need to let her know.
And you can't do it the way it used to be before. I mean, you get like 2 persons from over there to come work here and take everything over there.
Well, this is the thing. We could run everything out of here. You're right, the kitchen's already built. But
if nobody goes,
But that's where you gotta get participation. It's a nutrition center, it's just not a cafeteria. They gotta have activities. You gotta have things for them,
Bingo.
you know, whether it's bingo, whether it's travel events, or, you know, have something for them to come in, crafts. You gotta have something for them to wanna stay and come. You know, not all of them, some of them just wanna eat and go, but
like,
Can they do like the nursing homes do? Like take them to Laredo? A few
yeah,
people?
I think they have in the past. I think it's been a while, but they can take them to Laredo.
Take them around for a little bit and then come back.
But I'm saying Ensenada has a lot of elderly residents. I think that, like,
but what's the problem over there? I mean, how come the people don't want to go? I mean, what is it?
I mean, that's,
Is it the worker?
one of the suggestions would be
Before they built that deal, how many people did they deliver from here over there?
they're still delivering to those people
From here?
No.
from over there.
But
I don't know.
before they built that one over there, how many people were eating? I mean,
The same
how many were
ones.
delivering?
They were the same ones.
Rosie should know. Más o menos, Rosie, Ross,
On
no?
delivery, I had 25.
And now,
But-
There were 25. Day, and the daily they go to Ensenada is less than 10. And I have the numbers because I do reports.
But before they had the center over there,
So,
how many would you send over there? How many plates?
at the home delivery,
Yes,
30.
to Ensenada.
Right now, they have 25 to deliver. And we used to go and deliver those 30 plates.
the thing is that you have a high number of people that are elderly there.
Well, the deal was, we built this.
But in identifying, you may have some people there that don't meet the income requirements to get a home delivered meal. So you have that center open there. If there are other elderly people that can't get, that don't qualify, maybe also prepare a home delivered meal for them too. So that food don't go to waste and you justify the work. I mean, you gotta document it. But there's people that, you know what, he's a retired person, he's by himself, you know, he makes too much money to get a meal. Well, so what? He still pays taxes, he's over 60. Well, let's identify him and deliver, because we're feeding other people in Cotula as well. Make it across the board, said, you know what? You know, if you're from Ensenada and you can't come, we'll deliver the meal to you, even though it's not a state-funded program. So you expand the services to justify it. You don't want to take away from it, you want to justify the need to pay for so much. Otherwise, you're right, it's best to feed it out of Cotula. But in going to next year, y'all decide, is that, you know what? You know, maybe not people, and some people can't go because they have a hard time, they're afraid to fall, or they got to walk too much.
When they first opened that deal out there, Did a lot of people go and then they quit going, or why is not people going?
Well, the problem was the old buildings. They had a lot of
Issues.
issues,
Yeah.
issues, plus they had a lot of dances and parties and this and that. So that's when we built that new facility, so you can have all those things going on. But for you free, I mean, I don't know.
You know, I think I asked you the other day, and
That's what
I
it's
don't
for.
think, I don't know if I asked you, I asked a couple people from Ensenada. I said, your father doesn't go, he's elderly, but if they delivered a meal to him, you know, would he take it?
She's never home, she's still working.
Well, he's always working too. He's always working, or your mom or aunt, and the same thing with your aunt. They may not want to go to the center because, you know what? They don't want to walk too much, or it hurts, or for some other reason they don't want to explain. You know, and maybe they don't qualify for a home delivered meal, but would they take a home delivered meal?
I bet they would.
So that's what I mean. Change it now
Make
to
a change.
where you justify the work and you're serving those people.
And invite people like outsiders, what is it, 60 years and over?
As long as they're 60, we get it.
Pues sí, va.
If they're 60,
I'm gonna start doing that.
So they're 60,
Voy de aquí,
so
luego
they're
voy
60,
allá.
I don't have a problem, it's over there.
and as long as they're 60 and over, they qualify.
Yeah.
60 and
No
over.
hay que ir a comer allá, Martín, no.
Yo voy, Jack.
Ya puedo ir. Pero
So they qualify.
I'll be there
pero lo que
tomorrow.
pasa es que you can go eat there and pay $1, whatever
They
you.
have- They have 4 staff, and sometimes they only, there's only 3 clients, 5 clients. I mean, there's a lot of staff or.
And that's a lot of money you pay for food. That's a lot of money you pay for food. So to justify it, I said, okay, let's identify other people that, some people, they feel bad and they don't want to go, but
La familia Gratos.
I know the few people that go, whenever we've gone, pues they're happy just, we got it built and everything, but if it's gonna be more staff, I mean, and some people think, no, pues we're against Robert, no, I mean, whenever we make a decision here, they think, no, pues, let's say, sheriff says, no, pues they're got, no, it's because, like the oath for anything, if they're not making ends meet or something, we gotta cut back, don't feel bad, I mean, that's,
what I'm saying
like
is,
that
But I
whole
think
go and
that
everything
kitchen-
good
that
and you
kitchen's
can't
gotta
make
stay-
it.
I think that kitchen's gotta stay open.
But what are we
Because
gonna
it
do?
was my grandfather getting fed a nice warm meal right now. I don't wanna get it, el pan todo soggy de cotinillo, bien soggy cotinillo, when they were used to this now and now to get them back to this.
that's the thing, so you get a warm meal, so.
We can
in this-
try it and see what happens this year.
In this budget, leave it as is, but you release,
Staff.
no, you loosen the requirements for the qualifications, bro.
Try and bring it back.
It gotta be over 60.
Gotta be
They all have to be over 60 for, it's not Cotula, but for home delivered meals over there, we loosen the restriction. If we can get them qualified, we still qualify them for state, but still, we'll carry them until they can get qualified.
It was built for a reason. You can't give up on it just, porque no tengo.
Yeah, but
Try to work.
what's the problem that the people don't want to go? That's what
Try to work it.
What is the problem?
Try to
that
work
people-
it, try to bring people in, porque it's there.
They're not
How are you
trying-
gonna abandon the kitchen?
Check the
A
food.
brand new kitchen.
No,
So,
try to work it.
and I wasn't having an abandoned kitchen, it was the staffing that we had. Because we had the COVID staffing, because we were doing extra. So if we keep it, they gotta do an outreach, that if they're not coming in, then you're gonna take the plate to them.
Yes.
And that way, we're already extending this budget, that this is what we're gonna do.
But she needs to work a little bit harder to bring people to come and eat.
Well, this is why it gets addressed, and next year you all address that. Right now,
I
just on
saw
the
that line
budget.
supervisor para que pushe.
Huh? What?
See?
That's where somebody needs to be able to push.
Somebody
And if
needs
there's,
to.
like you mentioned, all the time, if the workload's not there, and I mean, it's not that we're picking, like I say, anybody, whatever, not picking, but the workload's not there, it's gonna be anywhere you go work, if there ain't no work, they're gonna let somebody go, or you don't wanna do that, but sometimes you gotta push the red button, and it's not picking on anybody.
Reduce
That's
down.
what it is.
So it is.
But you get them to, I mean, for those,
They can probably put
you set up a criteria for those elderly people that are having trouble walking, that can't really get around, don't have a car. They may not qualify for the state assistance program, but then we'll deliver a meal for them. What happens on some of these programs, when they have a provider, if the provider cooks for them, then they deduct if they get a home delivered meal. There's a wash there. So there's some state, some people may not want it because they got somebody else. But there are some people that don't have providers, they don't want providers because under the new law that kicked in, it's really been on the books for about 10 years, is people that get providers, the state can put a lien on their property after they die to pay that money they paid for the provider. There's been a law on the books for a while, it's just now being enforced. In our case, it wouldn't work that way. So on the budget, we leave it the same, we just leave the staffing the same.
Let's try it another year.
And then on the personnel issues, do y'all want to do the salaries next year, or you want to do the salary increases this year? You haven't done any, right?
No, not on the budget. I did,
The salary.
do a worksheet on what it would cost for salary.
So 2 steps is 6%, right?
Yes. Well, the first number, total payroll, is for the general fund and also for those funds that have some revenue that's not enough to cover the whole thing, which is courthouse security, the county jail, the parks, and the elderly nutrition program, and NCDOT.
The detention center
The detention center.
is
they have
separate.
their own-
Okay, it's on its own, okay.
So total general fund payroll, and then I deducted the salaries of the elected officials. So we're looking at $9.2 million. Then we have 5, 6, 7, 8%. Now what's in the blocks, it includes is the total including the fringe benefit.
So at 6%, increase, if, you said you have about 900,000, 950,000 left over,
Yes,
you take 600, it's gonna give you about $300,000 a cushion.
yes.
But is that the amount that's in contingent, or that's above the contingent amount that you have? So, huh?
I didn't understand the question.
Okay, the 900,000 you're talking about, is it above the contingent amount that you have? Because you have a line item that you used to have it, I believe in administration for
And I
contingent.
think that's like 250,000. That would be also in non-department, page number 7. Towards the very bottom, there's an account called unappropriated expense, which is the contingency account, and that one has $250,000.
Okay. So that 250,000 and the 900,000 bringing you to $1,000,001. Okay. So that gives you about a $500,000 cushion, just based on the money that's here. So, is this across the board, all non-elected workers get a 6%, or is it the ones only that haven't received anything this year?
That's for the court to decide.
Because we gave some raises this year, and then other people didn't, so do you give them less and the other ones that didn't more? Or what are you doing?
Will the LBS included? Are they gonna be included in the 6%?
Well, that's what I mean. The LVNs are detention center, you treat that separately. They treat it completely separately because they have to adjust according to the market. I mean, the one in Ensenada has to be treated separately because Tony has to address each one of those positions on a separate level and only based on the money comes in. Ensenada gets paid per diem. We can't use general fund money over there. So you gotta be treated totally, completely different because it's a separate deal. So that would only be us. But it's for you to decide. I mean, you want a proposal with 6%, you want a proposal with, you wanna look at the ones that got raises this year already? There's some that got promotions and not raises. You know, how do you look at those? Do you give them a percentage as well? So I don't think it's gonna be that many, but still, if they haven't had increases, or you go across the board, everybody across the same.
If you go across the board, there's some in other departments that have had increases.
And that's trying to be fair, you know, it's hard. There's a difference if they haven't increased, if they've been adjusted based on, you know, trying to conform with the outside, or is it, you know, based on performance, or do you just put X amount of money and you gotta come individually to the commissioner's court for performance, and you can do that increase. You know, so, you know, we're not gonna give increases, but turn on your paperwork, you consider a raise next year based on performance, you have your performance analysis done, and then you address each one of them.
And then if you're doing them straight across, or you're gonna leave it up to head departments to decide?
What,
Sometimes you have 3 employees that are excellent, and then you have one that, you know.
well, what I've seen in the bigger department is sometimes that you give, let's say 6%, and the employer may feel, you know what, he don't deserve 6%, I'm gonna hold 2 or 3 months before I give it to him. In our case, when they make that decision, it helps us because it leaves the money longer in the pot. So that's the decision they can make. So I don't know if it's right answer or wrong answer. I mean, you go 6% and let the elected official decide whether they deserve it, but
We did that last year,
I think it'd be better like that.
Pues sí, 6% y luego
3 and 3.
se
Yeah, that way, I
puede
think,
trabajar más.
yeah,
because I'm gonna, you know,
yeah.
I'm gonna perform, the one that don't perform.
Okay. Figure it out that way? They look at the 6% to be budgeted, but then the employer's gonna decide when they get it, you know?
And we can pay less than what's on the budget, we just can't pay more.
Right.
So our budget for everyone is 6%, and the department head or the elected official can decide who gets what.
And by the way, you need to turn that into you.
For the-
So what do you need to know?
What are they
for
doing?
pay.
Well, once it's budgeted, hey, we can do it anytime next year,
Yeah,
just.
yeah, it's anytime next year, once it gets approved.
Once we,
And the other question would be, are we talking a 2% increase, or are we talking a cost of living adjustment?
Eso también we haven't discussed with the cost of living, is everything expensive.
Because if we do step increases, there are some employees that are already at the last step, and what would you want to do with it?
Okay.
If you do an across-the-board increase, then you adjust the salary scale. If you do it this way, you're not adjusting the salary scale. And
No step increases, just a cost of living adjustment.
and the whole goal was,
Like the 6%, that's just like.
so how many people are gonna be going off the scale?
There's not that many.
3 or 4.
Now, we're gonna have a problem when we start talking about the increases at the detention center. Because earlier, when we were going for the per diem rate increase, we were talking $5 an hour for those, for every employee at the detention center. Now, I had already calculated what it would cost to do that, and some of those employees jump off the schedule.
What I would suggest is that you do a separate salary scale just for the detention center, that even though it's a county contract, the jail itself is not an obligation of the county until it's paid off. So you got like 2 years to get that resolved. It'll be paid off in like 2 years, maybe 3 years. It's almost done. So you set a separate salary schedule for those positions completely. Because it's still paying on itself. You're working and managing the money that's on reserves. You're still not using any general fund money. So it's still on its own, so it has to match the salary schedule that's used on a federal level, and which is not probably good for the county, because then it make everything go way, way up.
We could do a separate salary scale for the detention center, or we could revise what the court approved a few years ago. The detention officers, I think, are on grade 16. If we would allow them to go to grade 17 or 18, then that kind of
Oh,
solves.
that's an option to realign them on their,
On what grade,
on the grade they are. See, your detention officer is on, your law enforcement officers here, your firemen have to be paid pretty much what's being paid in the regions, even in San Antonio, Laredo, otherwise they go. So you're gonna have to balance all that out.
No se van.
No, they will.
No, they won't leave.
Huh? You don't think so?
No.
Right now, there's a shortage of law enforcement, EMTs and paramedics across the nation. So they do go. Your nurses, I don't know how much they're paying in Valverde. I thought they were paying like 60. Not in Valverde, yeah. Was it Eagle Pass?
Nurses or paramedics? I don't know.
Nurses and paramedics.
I know paramedics right now, most of the county, they're starting at 90,000 a year. That's just a paramedic, not firefighter. So that's what we're competing with, trying to keep people here.
And on the law enforcement side, I'm competing with almost 50,000 starting pay, and we're at 44. So that's why I'm having a difficult time drawing people in.
And it's hard because there's no houses for them to live. So now they gotta commute and pay elsewhere. So that makes it extremely hard. Unless you bring a law enforcement thing and they have bunks. And that's,
A lot of my guys are actually, I mean, that's the main deal. The pay, but then the housing. Somewhere to stay that's cost effective, not so expensive, but then everything they're getting in difference of the pay to come here, they're wasting in housing.
Yeah.
So,
That
that's sort of one.
you need to give them per diem. Come on, Leo, Pio.
look,
Give them a per diem.
look, you also have another 100,000 on the medical director countywide. The COVID is over. If you all feel a need to have a medical director in the future, then you can rebudget it. So they give you another 120,000 there. If you want to go that way. And just leave the medical director for ambulance. But the countywide, what I mean countywide is they look, he was really good at getting the vaccinations. But now you can get them at the clinic and you can pay for them and it's done. If something major ever happens again, then you can restart it all over again. So that'll give you
Who's he?
120, Dr. Rowe. So he was getting paid two things, huh?
Does that happen?
Yeah, he was getting paid as the EMC director and also here for the countywide. So the countywide has not been hired. What do y'all want to do? Do y'all want to leave it open and hire somebody else? Or do you want to put it back in a general fund and then y'all decide later what you want to do with it?
Yeah.
That's y'all's, huh?
On Ross, yes.
So you have to make that decision. I don't have anything else, Jorge. You want to go through those numbers and then finalize them? Do we have motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Okay.
Motion been made, second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Huh? I ain't going anywhere. I ain't going anywhere. Pues mi carro.
Ahora no salgo.
Tenía la vuelta en el-
Al dealer.